Eyre.
When Jane was young, she began a love-seeking quest, but she didn't have the people that were supposed to love her best. Jane needed a provider to give the love she would need, so she was taken in by her uncle, Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed died, he was the only one who cared, and his wife acted like Jane wasn't even there. She would say, "Take her away to the red room." Jane was scared, and there felt like her doom. Jane's quest for love kept moving on and on, with her cousins Eliza, Georgiana, and John. John was mean, giving Jane dirty looks, saying, "You have no business to take our books." In the end, Jane was sent to a school called Lowood, where she felt a love that she knew she could, would, and should. She was loved by Miss Temple and her best friend Helen, but Helen got sick, died, and went to heaven. But Jane gave Helen a final goodbye. She said, "I'll see you again, Helen, when I die." Later on became a teacher like Miss Temple, but she got a better job that met her potential. She became a governess at Thornfield Hall, where she would love and teach Lil Adela. Even though Adela had no idea what to say, she was told to come and speak to the woman who's to teach you and make you a clever woman someday. One day Jane will find out there is love for her when she meets Mr. Edward Fairfax Rochester. Jane's quest for love.
Jane's quest for love.
Jane's quest for love.
Jane's quest for love. The moon was waxing bright, she could see him in plain sight, riding on his horse in the middle of the night. She had a theoretical reverence on how much her beauty and elegance. He had been a good-humored stranger, and I swear she loved him ever since. But really there had been something different about him. When she got to know him, she knew that she couldn't live without him. I am sure most people would have thought him an ugly man, but it was motion and intellect that she couldn't understand. And she planned from the beginning to just work hard. She didn't want to find love, lose it, and end up scarred. But Jane stumbled upon it. Now she wanted to live with him, and they became so close until the love kindled within him. And I swear Jane never felt like this before. She had finally found love, and all she wanted was more. So she stuck with it, and things took off. He proposed, "You, Jane, yes, I must have you for my own."
Jane's quest for love.
Jane's quest for love.
Jane's quest for love.
Jane's quest for love.
Jane's love with Rochester didn't work out, but there was love in her future, there was no doubt. She was wandering around till she knocked on a door. Hannah said, "I'll give you a piece of bread, but nothing more." Jane was lying there and let out a final cry. Then she heard a man say, "All men must die, but all are not condemned to meet a lingering premature doom." Then this man named St. John brought Jane to a room where she would get healthy and feeling good again. She met Diane Mary, who became close friends. St. John got Jane a job teaching lower class kids. She liked the job far more than she expected, and when she was working there she met Rosamond Oliver, and Jane found out St. John was in love with her, but with her he could not spend his life because she was not suitable to be a missionary's wife. One day St. John told Jane something she would never guess. "Your mother was my father's sister. We are cousins, yes." Jane finally had a family to give the love she would need, but then she heard something that's surprising indeed. St. John told Jane, "You must marry me." He said, "A missionary's wife you must shall be." Sadly, from the family Jane must secede. Here we go again, Jane is going to leave.
Jane left the rivers just looking for her love again. Said she heard those angels from the heavens up above again. And she ran to Rochester's voice, cause her heart told her she had to. Yeah, she didn't have a choice, she knew exactly who she had to find. Then the butler told Jane that he was stone blind, but that didn't change her mind. She went as fast as she could, just a thought that maybe finally she would have what she wanted her entire life. He said, but Jane, I just want a wife." So she said, "Choose then, sir, her who loves you best, and I'm sure you won't have trouble figuring out the rest."